following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Miller can beat you in 6 different ways.
Well, we don't have to worry about it for a while. Like, the Baylor.
Agreed. I was jumping way ahead. I don't bring anything else to this series. I have with you. It's a little bit of representation. That's all I've got. And it may not get you very far, but that's all I've got. Hey, Steve. Hold on. And the mic is muted, so that was even better. Start the show with a muted mic, start the show with no partners. That's cool. That's cool. Anyway, so it's just me right now. Thanks, Nick. I just realized I was muted. Yeah, so flying solo tonight. Me and Michael K. and Paul O'Neill calling the Yankees game. They're gonna hang out with me, I guess, tonight. So got a few things we're gonna wrap on. Women's College World Series. We got the finalists set. Oklahoma, Florida State. No shock that Oklahoma's in the finals. They seem to be in the finals every year. They've won 50 straight games. Or 50-something straight games. They've only lost once. So here we go. It's do or die for Florida State. This was the same matchup back in 2021. And Oklahoma did win that one. So here we go. Rematch Florida State, Oklahoma in the final. So that's familiar opponents as well. Fonzarelli's in the house. What's up, Fonzo?
Hello. What's up? What's up?
So anyway, just rolling the intro, talking a little bit about the Women's World Series. Alabama went out last week, but Florida State, Oklahoma in the final. Not sure how much softball you watch, but that was pretty much Oklahoma was going to be in it. They've won 50 some odd games in a row. No big surprise that nobody beat them so far in the tournament either. In terms of college baseball, big news for Alabama. They won the region, the Tuscaloosa region, so they made it to their first super since 2010. So,
yep. Yeah,
13 years since the last time we got out of a regional tournament in the postseason. And considering all the crap the team went through earlier with the coach and all that stuff and the turmoil there, I think this is pretty impressive. I think that's a pretty impressive run myself.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. They responded really well. I still don't know how good this team actually is. Going into Wake Forest.
It'll be a good test.
Make it out, but if we do, man.
Yeah, I was not excited about the draw here, considering there are two other unranked matchups. I don't know. I didn't think us getting Wake Forest was a fair draw, but hearing a BAM complain about stuff was pretty funny. But I mean, I thought they should have reseeded after the regionals, like reseed for the super regionals going forward. But I mean, it is what it is. Going through the grind of an SEC schedule. What do they play? 31 SEC games, 30 SEC games.
30, yeah.
I mean, playing 30 games in the SEC baseball season is grind. That'll prep you for anything. So, why not? We shouldn't be here anyway, but why not? Why can't we take 2 out of 3 from Wake Forest?
I mean, I hope we do.
I mean, that's why we play, right?
I know a lot about Wake Forest outside of being.
I know Jack. I know they haven't lost 2 games in a row all year. That's the only thing I know about Wake Forest.
Yeah,
and they
ran through the ACC.
But. Yeah, I don't know how good the ACC is. I know Clemson got a pretty good program, right?
I think they're decent, ranked pretty regularly. FSU's love it. That's right.
That's right. I got a Pirates hat back there too. Don't tempt me.
Oh, I'll put it on. Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Fonz. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I mean, FSU's kind of the standard in the ACC. Clemson's usually pretty good. Wake Forest has their years, but it's nothing like the SEC has been the past decade.
Man, the grind of the SEC baseball season is nasty.
Something.
I mean, it's nasty.
Yeah.
What's up, Parker? Welcome to the Shizzo.
It's good to be back, guys. Good to be back. Sorry, they're working on some fiber optics in the neighborhood, so perfect time to try and do a podcast or join a podcast with no internet. So it's all good, first world
I
problems.
do like the fiber optics getting rolling around. I inquired about that here, but it's not available at your address yet.
Well,
So,
they've been doing it all through the neighborhood. It's been going on for like 2 weeks, and now they've just made it back to where we are in the back. So, yeah,
Cool.
Come to my knowledge when I come home this afternoon after work, and no internet.
No intranet.
Never a good sign. But y'all let me know if I buffer or anything. I'm just going off a hotspot, so we'll see what happens.
Hey, man, that's all we can do. Always and forever.
How you doing, Fonzie?
Good, man. Good. How about yourself?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So
good.
we
I
were
know
running
y'all.
down these baseball matchups.
Yeah,
We were talking about these super regional matchups, the final 16 for
Yeah,
the College
I saw
World
it.
Series, Men's
I
World
was
Series.
watching a little bit on the YouTube. I was watching y'all starting off.
Oh, okay.
Jeff going solo right there in the beginning. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was muted for like the first 10 seconds. I'm like, you idiot.
I was like,
You're
I
such
don't.
an idiot.
It happens. It happens. But no, I was completely agreeing with you. Jeff, you and I've talked about it. We talked about it at work a little bit. The reseeding, like you said, I think that needs to happen. I mean, you got two unranked teams playing each other. I mean, you can make this a little more interesting if you were to do that. I don't know. Well, I mean, as y'all have already stated, with everything that happened with this team, I'm completely happy with, the results from this year with the stuff that happened. A lot, But to your point, Fonzie, we didn't even really get to have or use our true number 1 and number 2 pitcher because they are out for the year. So
Are both of them gone for the season?
they were out for the season. So we've been starting our true number 3, who is our technically number 1 now, and then he's kind of banged up. So, But this team's a little different this year, I hope, and they're pretty young from what I've heard, and I don't think any of them are going to go jumping into the draft talks or going to get drafted or anything like that. Some of them maybe, but not all of them.
So there's no chance either pitcher pitches in the postseason. It's like that kind of season ender. Like no chance at all.
Yeah, it was something it was going to take at least. Don't quote me on it. I know somebody out there can go fact check it. I was going to say 4 to 6 months was the injury or something like that. I mean,
okay. I got
it wasn't anything like an ACL or sometimes you can even come back quicker nowadays, but it was something to do with throwing, if I'm mistaken. I might be mistaken on it, but it was something that they were going to be out for a long period of time. So,
dang.
Unfortunate.
Why not? Why not overcome losing your top 2 starters and your coach and he was betting on games?
Cheating you. Cheater.
40 wins. I mean, we had a 500 above 500 record in the SEC. That's impressive.
Content with
It's
that?
been a long time.
I mean, Arkansas is not in the Supers. If you notice that, didn't they win the regular season this year?
They did.
Mm-hmm.
That they did. And they've been talking a bunch of stuff all week. I've seen some stuff on Twitter, and they were like, "Well, this is how good we are." TCU beat them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're ranked though. Like a lot of these teams we're seeing on our screen right now are ranked too.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't host the regional. Like I know Indiana State was like 22 or 23. Southern Miss is like 13th in the country.
Yeah, and Tennessee's
They're
ranked.
a really good team. Tennessee's ranked.
Texas, were they ranked? I think they were too. They were.
At some point, I'm sure they were because they're a great baseball program.
I mean, what is that? Bama, LSU, Kentucky, Tennessee. That's 5 SEC teams. Would have been, or that's
Six.
South Carolina, 6.
Yeah.
So I saw a stat on that. Best case scenario for let's draw it back. There was how many SEC teams hosted a regional? Auburn was one.
8.
They did
8. Yeah.
8. So Auburn was one. They didn't make it. Who were the other? Who was
Vandy
the other
didn't
one?
make it out either.
Vandy.
India.
So we look at all the teams who were actually making postseason baseball in the SEC. Oklahoma and Texas joining in the next year or so. So add Texas into there. You got 9 potential. 8 right now. 9 potential. Everybody's like,
yeah,
Tennessee didn't host.
Yeah,
Tennessee made it too.
exactly. So you got 10 teams, and you got no. Did Texas have a regional? Did they host a regional?
No.
Austin, I think so.
These rankings are all the teams that. So like the 1 through 16, those are all the teams that hosted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're re-ranking them basically. Like
So we were the
Alabama's
16th
not-
seed coming out of going into regional play.
Right.
Gotcha. Well, but yeah, a lot of people were like, well, a little disappointed how, a couple SEC teams didn't make it out of regional play. And I was like, well, I mean, you're going to look at it both sides of it on this one. At minimum, you're going to have one team from the SEC make it to Omaha. Best case scenario, you could have, 4 make the SEC or make it to Omaha. Will it happen? I don't know, but we'll see. So I think it's a good year for them.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy
Yeah,
if that many.
it'd be
If it was
crazy.
4 SEC teams in Omaha, like that'd be nuts.
Yeah, it'd be Tennessee, either Florida, South Carolina. Oh gosh, yeah, it would be because LSU and Kentucky too as well. I mean, and us. So I mean, it could be very interesting. But Wake Forest, that's going to be. I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
Where is
about
Wake Forest? Isn't that North Carolina somewhere?
Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem.
Didn't the SEC? Did we have 4 last year?
Gosh, I don't remember.
A&M, Ole Miss,
State.
Auburn, Mississippi State didn't make it last year.
Yeah, Auburn was there.
Auburn, Arkansas was there.
Who won it?
We had 4 last year.
Who did win it last year?
Did Arkansas win it?
Ole
last
Miss
year?
won it last year.
Okay.
Ole Miss did,
Yeah. Okay. And State won it a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
How did Ole Miss season end this year? Were they even around?
I don't even.
I think from what I heard this year that it's unfortunate for both the Mississippi teams. They didn't, Mississippi State winning it a couple years ago and Ole Miss winning it last year, that neither one of them made it back to postseason play. That was it. Yeah, they didn't make it to the regionals. So unfortunate, but that's baseball. That is baseball for you.
Ole Miss wasn't even that great last year. I mean, they kind of like
they were the last
dragged
team
through
to
the
get.
SEC.
Yeah, they were like the last team to make it in to like regionals.
Agreed with you here, Nick. State hate.
However.
Ding-a-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling. Shove it up your ass is what that is.
That's loud.
I can't stand those stupid cowbells going to games there. It's like, get a life. God bless. Although they do have a good baseball team, but not this year. Oh! Yeah, I noticed Hunter didn't show up after Bobrovsky gave up 7 goals last night. Oh!
That was a brutal game.
Oh, this is interesting, Nick. You might have to. You might need to jump on the show and talk about this.
Yeah, I saw the video of that guy getting absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
So he break his jaw or what, guys? Did he do it?
No, he didn't. He's okay, but I mean, it was a clean hit. He toe picked himself right into Kachuk's hip. But
Yeah.
The Murph.
What's good?
Murph, that looked eerily similar to that Stevens Lindros hit in 2000. Like that ended Lindros's career in Philly.
I can't believe he got back in. I was like, well, it's like,
Those hockey players are different, man.
yeah, they're built differently, man.
well, the way he was moving his jaw too,
Yeah.
I was like, he's definitely broke something, but he was
Yeah,
just
he
out of
actually
breath.
looked fine.
Is what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, those hockey players are a different breed, man.
Different breed.
They are definitely a different breed.
Aaron Ekblad was awful last night, though, Murph.
Yeah.
If there's one, there's so many reasons Panthers lost, and I won't harp on it because I'd be salty as hell.
Yeah, there's tons.
But Ekblad was embarrassing.
Yeah, it's that same undisciplined behavior they had at the start of the season, and they really never really fixed it. That felt like they just reverted back to let's just get tons of penalties and give the other team tons of chances. I don't know.
I mean, game tightens up in the playoffs. They let a lot go, but they're not getting the benefit of the doubt, especially in these games where the score is getting out of hand. They're going to start to clamp down a lot. Like we saw it last night. Kachuk got 10 minutes. Barbashev got 10. Which is probably good for Kachuk because he had a target on his back.
I mean, Kachuk's had like 3 of those, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They just throw him out like candy in the playoffs. Like I said, especially in these blowout games, it's just trying to
10-minute game misconducts all the time.
Yeah. Even Gudis, who is a one-trick pony of starting fights, like he got rocked.
He got destroyed. Yeah,
he got rocked hard.
One-trick pony of starting fights.
Yeah, that's all he does.
Oh, the good old days, the good old hockey days, where you legit had a line of nothing but brawlers. Like the fourth checking line was just like all fighters.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, here the game's about to start. Wow, both checking lines are starting the game. I wonder what's about to happen. And as soon as they drop the puck, there's 5 guys brawling, and they all get penalties, and then the real lines, the top lines come in, and then they pick up the game, and off they go.
Did you ever watch that hockey documentary on Netflix? It was around the Trashers. Ringing any bells?
No.
It was like
I watched one on the I watched a 30 for 30 on the Avalanche Red Wings.
Yeah, that was good too.
Oh, the one about like the enforcers, all the enforcers.
Yeah.
And they're like holding up their knuckles and they're like bent in 50 different directions.
Oh God. There's still teeth in some of them.
Most of them have like some nice, veneers now that they're retired, but
yeah.
My God.
Not all of them.
These guys couldn't even skate.
Body's just broken.
Some of them couldn't even skate. But they
Scott goes, my God.
Penalty minutes a year because they're just beating the crap out of people.
My God. He goes, that's all he said.
My God. Independence Day. My God.
Oh, man.
Well, that hence the podcast name Spittin' Chicklets. That's a clever name.
Yeah. Just look up Bobby Clark Parker and you'll see what.
Oh God, Bobby Clark.
You've piqued my interest.
He's got a nice set of veneers now. He was toothless for about 30 years.
Yeah.
Like Craig Berube.
No.
What was his last name one more time?
Clark.
Clark.
Bobby Clark with an E. Robert Earl Clark. Greatest GM in the history of hockey. Sorry. I can't even get that out, even though I'm...
Oh, damn.
Face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's missing some teeth. Looks okay now.
Look up Mike Ricci. That's another good one.
Yeah. There's so many good ones.
Literally one of the names in the search bar, it literally said the second option under Bobby Clark. Bobby Clark teeth.
Yeah, that's it. They're legendary. Or lack thereof.
Wow.
Yeah, or lack thereof. It's legendary, his lack of chiclets. Yeah, Ricci's another classic chicletless man. He might be ugliest man of hockey in history, too, so.
Gotta be the ugliest sport.
Gotta be the ugliest.
Oh, man, this guy's rough looking, too.
Guy looks like the Wicked Witch of the West in the Avalanche uniform.
That's actually sweet.
You wouldn't date that guy?
Oh, get out of here.
It's awesome.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I remember those days, Nick. Seriously, I remember I sent off a King Griffey Jr. rookie card to get autographed to the Mariners, and they sent it back unautographed and said, sorry, he didn't sorry, we don't do that. But they sent me the card back, so that was nice of them. But yes, I mailed a couple of baseball cards off to the organization and never got them back. But that's pretty awesome that freaking Nick's got a Yager.
When he first started playing for the Penguins, no one could say his name. I wasn't born. My dad was saying it was like
that was like 1990, right? That was early because he played with Lemieux. He was prime.
Yeah,
like prime mullet.
They just called him Jim or Jagger.
Jaromir Jagr.
What a player, though.
Oh, now this is Nick just name dropping now. So I got one for y'all then. All right, Nick. Who's the most famous number in your phone? We're going to play this. Let's see. I got one for y'all. Where's Chris Ryan's when I need him? This would be one that I have.
Hulk Hogan.
I mean, he posted his number on something, one of his social medias one time for something, and I snagged that bad boy. I never called him, but by God, for that stretch of time, I got Hollywood Hogan's number.
So when's he's going to be a guest on the podcast?
I keep trying to hit him up, man, but he's blowing me up trying to get on, but we just don't have a slot for him.
Sorry, we're running out of time.
Sorry, buddy. You're pretty slam packed this episode with baseball and hockey and women's softball, so can't squeeze in Hollywood. Maybe next time. Keep telling Nick Saban that too, man. He's blowing me up. Okay, so Parker, I guess the brown note hit the brown note.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah. Do you think Bobrovsky coming back next game?
When Mother Nature calls, man, when you're brown tapping, dude. Okay, here we go. That is sick.
Dang. Sounds very.
That sounds about right.
It sounds like PCB.
Why would you not run into King Griffey Jr. when you're down in Panama City Beach and have him hit on your friend? That's pretty awesome.
It's the heart of Florida.
That's
the crown jewel.
The crown jewel. Panama City, baby. Exactly, Fonzie. That's what you do a lot of in Panama City. Yes, these are facts. Man, Panama City, man, I got some skeletons down there. I need to stay down there.
I've refused to go my whole life. Still
My
haven't
parents
been.
had a house there for years. We used to.
Who did?
Legion now.
My parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we used to go there every summer, spring break. Became a man in that city.
You were exposed to a lot at a young age.
Yeah, it was funny. There was like a big house right across from where the place was, and Red Bull would rent it out for their Red Bull raves because it's on the beach. So you see all sorts of stuff.
Oh, wow. I know that crowd. I've been there several. Yeah, Nick knows what's up. R.I.P. Club La Vila. It's just a parking lot with an abandoned building now. But yeah. I attended a Monday Night Nitro, WCW Monday Nitro at Club La Vila, and Buff Bagwell was there. And so that was legit. Sting was there. I mean, there were several of the big name Nitro stars back in the day. But yeah, La Vila, a couple skeletons in the basement of La Vila, so we'll just leave those down there. But yes, I guess they closed it. I don't know if it's ever going to reopen, but last time we were down there, we drove by there, and it was, I mean, there were gates across the parking lot. You could tell the parking lot hadn't been upkept because there were some weeds growing up, and the building was pretty much just a empty building.
What happened? I didn't hear about that.
I read what it was. I can't remember what it was. I don't know if the owner just was getting fined. I don't know if it was, if it was health inspection stuff. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the story, or maybe he went bankrupt, or maybe it was too much. Maybe the feds were cracking down on him because it was probably the most central drug hub of the Florida coast. So maybe the feds were cracking down. Maybe he got a little nervous. The feds were closing in on him, so he cut bait. Totally agree, Nick. Things are very much better left in the past. Or in the basement of Club La Vila. Hi-oh! Thing on.
Oh, they got a pool and everything.
Oh, La Vila?
They did.
Yeah, dude. The Nitro ring was in the middle of that pool. And they built walkways from the concrete over the water to the ring, where the ring was in the middle of the pool. Yes, it was awesome. And then the very last night of Nitro, when they got bought out by WWF, was in La Vila as well. I mean, La Vila was the hot spot for the WCW crowd.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was all clean fun. If MTV Spring Break was crashed up in La Vila for a week, it was good, clean fun. Seltzer waters, lifesavers, vitamins. I'm sure that's all that was being passed around there.
Mm-hmm.
No STDs in that pool whatsoever.
At all. I went when I graduated from high school in 1994. I'm aging myself here, but when I graduated from high school in '94, that was on like a whatever night, Friday night, Thursday night, whatever night we graduated. And the very next morning, me and like 6 of my friends loaded up straight to Panama City, and it was debauchery for like a week, and then came home, and that was where I discovered cookies and cream Twix. I remember distinctly that I ate several boxes of those cookies and cream Twix. Apparently, I was really craving those. In the altered state I was in, I was very craving those. So, hey. It was wild in Panama City. It's actually cleaned up quite a bit, though. I mean, they've done a lot of...
They've really cracked down. It wasn't
they've
even
done a lot
really
of work
thought
down
when we
there.
were in school because it wasn't...
Yeah.
It is.
Infrastructure-wise and resort-wise. I mean, it's not nearly the cesspool it was of pure debaucherous.
I remember there was that one summer of spring break that they actually banned alcohol. It was getting that bad.
Ooh.
That's like the infamous story of, how Metallica were big drinkers back in the day. Alcoholica, the whole nickname for him. Well, Dave Mustaine, the lead guitarist and the lead singer of Megadeth, was in Metallica originally, and he drank so much that Metallica said, "Hey, man, you got to move on, man. You drink too much for us." I mean, if Metallica tells you that you drink too much, you got a big problem.
I'll figure it out. Yeah.
I don't care what you say. Chlamydia is a soup, and like Courvoisier, it is the drink of choice. Man, y'all need to watch Ladies Man if you ever watch that with Tim Meadows.
Ladies Man?
The Ladies Man? That's who Leon Phelps is. That reference there from Nick. That's a Ladies Man reference. It was an SNL character that Tim Meadows did called Leon Phelps, the Ladies Man. He talked with a lisp.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the SNL skits.
Yeah, he had the afro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can go all night because I take ginseng. Go YouTube some Leon Phelps clips after we finish. It's they're classic. Here's something else you need to watch if you haven't watched any clips of this. The Michael Shea, Colin Yost joke swap on SNL. I was hanging out at Nick's house Saturday night. We were having some whiskey and with this other friend of ours, and we were just watching some TV, talking, and we started playing these clips of that joke swap. Man, we were like crying, laughing.
Colin gets the worst of it.
Yes.
He tries to get him canceled so hard.
Don't clam up, Nick. This is good stuff. Yeah, he does. I mean, the fact that, it's some of the most racist stuff ever, but it was so freaking funny watching him read this for the first time live on TV. It was hysterical.
Yeah.
Everything come out okay, Parker?
Oh, I had a quick dinner. Had to eat some hamburger steak and some nice mashed potatoes. So, quite nice. No, I got a good one for you guys. I'm kind of surprised we haven't talked about it. I know we're not big golfers here, but the PGA and Live merger.
I did see that, yeah.
How, and I was actually just downstairs talking to my dad about it, and it goes back to how big of a dumbass do all the people that stayed with the PGA and didn't take the money, how do they feel now? Because now it's just screwed. They just lost out on $800 million. I mean, like, out of this world numbers. So it comes back to it. A lot of the loyalty stuff doesn't get you very far, apparently, in this day and age, because that's why they stayed with it.
Is Live absorbing PGA, or are they just
merging?
They're merging. And it's some different things I've heard, like holes 1 through 8 and 13 to 18 will be PGA rules, and then like 9 through 12 will be Live.
interesting?
So I'm like, what does that mean? So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I only really pay attention during the Masters.
I gotta be honest. When Tiger Woods became a shell of who he used to be, golf doesn't really elevate to my priority list to watch. I might turn on the last couple of holes of a major just to see who wins the major. But when Tiger Woods became just a guy, it lost something for me. It lost the like, man, I got to get home Sunday by 11 because Woods is teeing off at 11:05 or something like that, or whatever. But since he just became guy, I don't know. There's some good young golfers, man, but it's not the same.
Wait till his son joins.
Yeah. Look, Tiger, go back to the hookers and the drugs, dude, when you were hitting 12 under par every tournament. Like, this clean-cut, loyal Tiger can't play worth a flip. So, go back to the hookers and drugs, man, and start winning majors again.
Partying with Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan.
I mean, yeah. Like, Dennis Rodman, come on. I guess all that Navy SEAL training finally broke his body down, or that or when he flipped his car through, doing 90 miles an hour across 2 lanes of traffic through a bunch of trees. That probably didn't hurt either.
His ex-wife beat him. What was it? Show the golf club.
Oh, really, Nick? See, that was news to me. The way that LIV was paying the golfers, I figured they had money for forever.
So that's Saudi Arabian money, right?
This is like, is this like when Dunder Mifflin bought out Michael Scott Paper Company?
Yeah.
That's actually, I don't know much about golf. I don't follow it, but I actually heard kind of a similar thing a couple months ago. It was like, Liv was not doing great. A lot of the money was basically handed out up front through all these Saudis.
Fronted. Gotcha.
But
yo, man,
I don't know
can
if
you front me this
true.
ounce?
So, just read something to that nature. And
okay, see,
I'm
that's
sure
news to
they're
me.
still trying to figure out compensation. So, the PGA golfers might actually make out better because of this, but I don't know.
I mean, I wonder what all the media is going to do that roasted all these LIV guys. And now they're going to have to start covering them again. When the next time, the next tournament, they're going to have to all cover them again and try to get interviews again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that sounds about right, Nick. Got fronted. And now Avon Barksdale coming back around. Wanting to collect. On them points. We got trouble. LIV had trouble. See, they got Barksdale sniffing around, so they had to get some money somewhere. That's interesting, though.
Very
Have
interesting.
you seen how much these people make, though? It's insane. You don't even have to be the best golfer. You just have to get in the tournament. You're already
Just
set.
play.
Yeah.
Like some of the winnings were.
I can't argue with that, Nick. I'm not the biggest hefty Mickelson guy, although he's not so hefty anymore.
It's after he ripped the roids
And the hamburgers.
and the hamburgers and 18 Dr. Peppers.
Well, they were a sponsor, so I'm sure he probably got paid $30 million to drink those Dr. Peppers.
Well, it showed.
Like John
kidding.
Daly.
Well, that's a different case. But no, I can't hate Mickelson. My older brother, that's like one of his favorite players because he's a lefty. Both of them are lefties. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well,
A good friend of mine's a lefty, so he likes Mickelson because he's a lefty.
don't see many of them. So,
I'm
oh
like,
well.
Oh, that must be terrible to have to like Mickelson.
You remember the tournament where John Daly quit, even though he was like winning because he had to have a drink and you couldn't drink on the course?
That sounds like something he would do.
He was
Hey.
winning. He was like, I gotta have a
Hey.
drink.
When you want that drink, you go get that drink. Nick, can I get an amen? Like, when you want that drink, you go get it.
I think I would have been able to wait for that drink if the purse was like, a couple, mil. If that was the case. I'd be like, yeah, I think I'll hold off on that drink and I'll just bathe in the drink later.
I mean, it must have been a heck of a good drink, like Ricky Williams gave up $30 million NFL money so he could smoke some weed. So I was like, man, that must have been some really good pot. $30 million or this bag of weed. I'm telling you, man, this stuff is fire. Like, I'll make $30 million somewhere else, but this stuff right here, it's like, really, buddy?
And see, that's one of the best running backs I've ever watched. Like, not watched personally, but watched, YouTube stuff on him. He was legit.
I mean,
But,
I need some of that strand. If
but
guy
yeah.
was going to give up an NFL career for it.
Mm.
That's nuts. I mean, is NFL still banned for weed? Since it's legal, like, all over the place?
I think they're no longer testing for it anymore.
Goodell finally said, seriously, guys, can we stop fooling with all this weed testing? Like, this is silly.
What was that one wide receiver who just kept?
Josh Gordon.
Yes.
Yeah, Josh Gordon.
Flash Gordon.
Him and
So they
one
don't-
wasn't there
The
wasn't there
NFL doesn't randomly test. I just looked it up, but they still
okay.
test once a year.
uh,
And if they
This
fail,
is-
they get a fine,
Okay. Yeah.
which, whatever, for most of them.
When's game 3, Murph?
Game 3, that's 2 days.
Does that
from
go
now?
2 days between games?
Yeah, it's 2 days.
Yeah. You're going 2 now because it's the Cup.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Thursday.
Is it
Thursday.
back?
Okay.
Where is it going to be at this time?
It's
Florida.
actually in Florida, game 3, because aren't the first two? Isn't it 2-2, 1-1-1?
It's between 2 games, yeah. So I don't know if that's going to change the dynamic. Probably not. But
I mean, I've watched a good bit of these first 2 games, and as good as Florida was playing, I mean, Vegas just
yeah, they just kicked their teeth in.
Vegas just busted them up 2 games in a row. Like, I mean, that game last night was laughable.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, Florida doesn't look the same. If they want any chance, they have to win the next 2.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a downer, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas is just
be screwed.
looks like a machine.
Yeah.
They're playing like a machine right now. I mean, they just looked. They looked like a top seed, and Florida looked like they barely got in the playoffs
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah.
That's
Great.
what
Great.
that looked like.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean it's over by any stretch. You got to win road games to win the Stanley Cup. So, they got a shot still. They just defend home, and anything can happen in a game 7. But they can't play like they have in the first 2 games because I mean it was.
It's like basketball, right? You have to win majority of the 7, so it'd be 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Do y'all think they put Bobrovsky back in?
Yes.
They have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't.
I don't think you have a
Can't
choice.
rely on Alex Lyon to win them a Stanley Cup. So,
Goalies, man, are like closers. You got to get them right back out there. If you yank them one game, you got to get them right back out there, or they'll mentally tank.
Yeah.
I mean, that game was over when they pulled him. Like,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Florida
I
was.
mean, you
dead
knew it,
right.
so it's like, all right, move on to game 3. We're not going
They
to
weren't coming
sit you out here to get embarrassed. Don't have it. Let's move on. Get them out of there. Let them start thinking about prepping for game 3.
I couldn't even blame him for everything. It's not.
But he didn't get a lot of help.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, yeah.
They couldn't
He
clear
did
the
not
front
get
of the
much
net.
help.
They were in awful position. They were using their sticks to defend constantly. Like any good NHL team is just going to absolutely abuse you when you do that. And Vegas is the first team to really match Florida physically.
Yeah.
All playoffs. And that's been a huge difference. And, Florida can give it back. That's the strongest part of their game, I think, outside of their goaltending in the playoffs. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Didn't
I would
look
agree
good.
with that.
Yeah. It was like the bully became the bullied. Vegas just
Exactly.
gave it right back to him.
Right back to him.
It's like,
And this is the first time they're like Aiden Hill for Vegas has been great all playoffs. This is the first time that I think they faced a goalie, or I think they faced a team where they don't have a huge advantage in that.
yeah. Just can't brute force their way into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vegas is good, man. What, they finish second in the West? Or they top seed in the West?
Yeah. Second.
They were first in the Pacific, I want to say.
I thought they were the second overall seed in the West behind
Yeah, I think the Oilers had more
somebody.
points, but
the who? Oilers?
the Oilers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check.
I mean, Oilers got a decent player.
Or no, that's shit. That was dumb. The Oilers are in the same division. They had the most points in the West.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, it's not looking good for the Panthers, but stranger things have happened.
It wasn't looking
Titans
good when
beat
we played the
Red
Bruins.
Wings.
That's
They
true.
went down
I mean, that's true. You're dead right. I mean, you've been in this
We were
position
one game away
before.
from elimination playing the Bruins, and we came
Yeah.
back. So.
You've been in this situation before. So
Never say
if
never.
if there's any team we've seen do this exact thing, it's Florida.
Yeah.
So, and then the Heat bounce back in their game too. Like, Florida's living right, man. Florida's living right now. See, cash one of these in. Be like Boston, make the finals of every sport and lose, or Philadelphia.
Can we fix the Dolphins? Can the Dolphins give you
Hey, the Dolphins are legit contenders for about 6-7 weeks,
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
and
That
then
division's gonna be a bloodbath, though.
when the Tua inevitably goes down for however many times he goes down, then that's where Miami will falter again, I think.
Yeah.
I was shocked they picked up his 5th-year option based on his injury history. That shocked me, but
Yeah, I don't know if that was almost like a make good. Like we know we kind of. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
Most likely.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're like, you'll get retirement. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like, yeah, we did kind of screw you up. We'll get you the 5th year.
Yeah, they owed him. They owed him like a 6-year too. I know there's not a 6-year option, but we really fumbled the bag so bad we're gonna add one to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Man, Miami's gonna make some noise, but you're right, Fonzie. That division's gonna be tough.
I mean, the Patriots are by far the worst team, and they may be knocking on the door until week 16.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, and Aaron Rodgers being in that division now, although I think that's going to be a dud.
You don't think it's going to do anything for the Jets?
I mean, I think it'll do. I mean, the Jets will be better, obviously.
Yeah.
If you take out Zach Wilson and put in Aaron Rodgers, you're immediately a better football team.
Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers, with a mound of expectations, he's never waded in these waters. I know Aaron Rodgers, when there have been expectations, has been terrible in the postseason when expectations are at the highest. So I have no reason to think that he'll just stroll into New York and be able to handle the New York media. I mean, they're talking about Super Bowl already. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
They're a
Okay.
playoff team. I think they make the playoffs.
Yeah,
which
they
is
got a decent
great
defense,
for them, but
they're going to be disappointed at the end with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to leave them wanting more.
Yeah.
If this was Aaron Rodgers of 10 years ago, maybe so, but a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers that,
Yeah. Has
wishy-washy,
no motivation whatsoever.
flip-flops on retirement and all that stuff. I mean, it's like, what are the Jets really getting?
It's just another long list of bad executive decisions in my mind.
You know who they're getting, Fonz? They're getting Le'Veon Bell at quarterback. That's what they're getting.
Sign me up. I'll take him.
They're getting expectations that he can't meet, and it's going to look bad.
See, he has a great offense though. He's inheriting. I genuinely
agree.
think he can put up like 30 points a game.
He'll put up numbers. He will fill the stat sheet, in my opinion. He'll fill the stat sheet. But when they need him to make a play or make a throw to win a postseason game, they're going to be left wanting more.
Not in the AFC. But
I mean, we got our own issues at quarterback, but just saying. Not issues, but we got our own growth to do at quarterback, I should say.
yeah, we're developing our guy.
Growth. Yeah. Yeah, and I like the pieces that we put around him. So, I mean, if this team stumbles to a 9-8 record, like, does that put Tomlin on the hot seat, Scott?
Should.
I mean, if we stumble
Depending
or
on
miss
the
the playoffs
circumstance.
altogether, if we have a losing record and miss the playoffs altogether, is this and the offense struggles like last year? Like, at what point does Tomlin start facing heat?
I think it's got to be. Like, he's got to be on the hot seat. They fixed all our issues.
Yeah.
At least, in most cases, serviceable players. Maybe not great. But there's no reason this team can't compete in this division.
Agreed. There's enough talent offensively that we should not be 30th or 31st in the league in every offensive category.
No way.
I mean, they would flash that up last year, and everything would be 31st, 30th, 31st. Like points per game, yards per rush, yards per pass, completion per. I mean, all these stats were just like in the 30s, 31st, 30th, and I'm like, golly, like, how does a man keep a job? And they
Would this
2 or 3
be
years.
Najee's second year in the league or third?
this would be his third.
Damn, if he keeps taking a beating like this, he might make it to 6 years being running back. That's brutal. Because I mean, he took a pounding.
Yeah, the last year for sure.
Yeah, he took a beating.
But he started doing, they found the formula. Like Jalen Warren getting 8 to 10 carries a game freed up Najee a lot. He was so much better. So
Yeah.
I don't think Najee's going to see the same volume he got.
Good.
the first
I just
2
hate
years.
to see, and I would just hate to see that, something because running backs, they have a short lifespan in the NFL, so it's
Very short.
once
You're absolutely
once
right.
and done. And I hate saying that with some of my favorite running backs. Ingram, lo and behold, he somehow I don't know if he's officially retired yet or has he?
So is he still on the Saints?
He still, from what I've heard, he still is. But
I wanted, when Baltimore picked up Ingram, I wanted the Steelers to pick him up that offseason for that
Goal
leadership,
Yeah.
that presence,
With
and that,
Garrett Blunt a few years back.
Najee Davenport.
I liked him.
You know what he's infamous for, right? At Miami,
No, I don't.
What?
when he snuck into his ex-girlfriend's dorm and took a dump in her closet
Be awesome.
while he was at Miami. Go look it up. It's out there. Yeah.
Bring him back. They called him Dump Truck or Dookie. Those are his nicknames.
Dookie.
Baker Dookie. That's good. Good.
Bravo.
Najee Davenport. Oh my gosh.
Only in Florida.
Played high school against my teachers. Or he played basketball against my high school teachers.
Nice.
I wasn't in high school yet, but it was like him, Big Ben, and a couple other scrubs. Destroyed my teachers.
I mean, yeah, probably took a big old dookie on him.
I mean, look up that story when the show's over about Najee Davenport at Miami.
Oh man.
Yeah, he left a heck of an impression.
For real.
Someone say he left his mark.
Literally, figuratively. All the above.
He laid some cable in her closet there.
Here, let's read it live on the podcast here.
I'm down for this. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
All right, hang on a second. We need a little background music here for this reading of this story. Are you going to read the story?
It's like 3 sentences, but yeah. Tell me when. Prior to entering the NFL, Davenport allegedly broke into the dorm room of a Barry University woman and defecated in a laundry basket on April 1st, 2002. April Fool's Day. A woman sleeping in the room told police she was startled by a strange grunting noise and observed Davenport in a squatted position, evacuating his bowels and voiding into a laundry hamper.
Evacuating his bowels.
His felony charge of a second-degree burglary and misdemeanor count of criminal mischief was dropped in exchange for his completing of 100 hours of community service. He maintained his innocence after the hearing, demanding outside of the courthouse, "Where's the evidence? Where's the manure? I know I didn't do it. I just wanted to get it over with."
Where's the manure? Likely she didn't leave it in her laundry basket waiting for the court date.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine that? Like, what is that noise? Somebody grunting in the closet?
In your laundry?
What's that smell?
Now, I ain't the brightest man in the world, but it looked to me like you taking a shit. Hey!
Oh my God.
Now she in here taking a shit. I ain't gonna tell nobody else, though. That's all I can see is Smokey when he's in that movie Friday, when he's back there taking a dump on the side of his house, and he's like, you can see Najee Davenport in that lady's closet, squatting down. Ooh. Our show has derailed.
Derailed. Shut up, Richard.
How do we get here?
Representing for Tommy Boy right here. Callahan Auto Parts. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Tommy Boy. Great movie.
You have derailed. Shut up, Richard.
I can't do this.
Can't believe that guy called me psycho. Are you kidding? Did you see yourself in there?
Look at your hair. God.
Oh, man. We might have to rewatch that movie, too. Oh, gosh. This was a fun show, man. I like branching out in all different directions, all different subject matters. I know going into the show, I have an idea, and then I just like how we branch into all this different stuff throughout the show. It's pretty awesome. And I love when Nick comes on and turns this off onto a whole crazy topic in itself. I love that. It just gives us more things to talk about. So, anyway, so Panthers, Vegas, Thursday night, game 3. Panthers got to win, got to defend the home ice. If they can win at home, anything can happen in a game 7. So just got to win at home and then roll the dice in game 7. The Bama plays Wake Forest. When does that start? Thursday or Friday? I don't know which one.
I think they're Saturday, actually.
Is ours on Saturday?
Saturday at noon, I think, is the first
Okay.
When does Alabama play Wake Forest?
So we have to win 2 out of 3. This is best 2 out of 3 in these.
Yeah.
And then the 8 winners of this are in the World Series.
Yep.
Is that how the bracket works?
Yep.
Okay.
When
Troy
2
got
you're
knocked out.
going. Huh?
Troy got knocked out, I saw.
Yeah, by us.
Yeah. I was just kind of
Now they'll never play us in football.
No, that was a competitive game. They could have easily won.
they're good baseball.
So we had to come back to win that game, didn't we, Parker?
We were. They took the lead. We had like a lead 7-5, and then they took the lead like 8-7. I was like, they're gonna win this game. So I went to bed. Woke up. We'd won the game 11-9.
Their shortstop with 2 outs threw the ball into the crowd
Oh.
in the bottom of the 9th. So we lost that game.
I didn't see that play, but I saw a video clip of Chris Stewart and Roger Hoover in the booth calling the radio of that play, but I didn't see the play. But I saw them call it.
I was like, damn, this one's over. Like, I can't believe we couldn't beat that team because I didn't.
Scott, they're very, very good in baseball. They're very competitive.
I watched the game. I was still shocked we were not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Auburn got knocked out by Southern Miss.
Yeah.
They lost to Penn at first, and then Southern Miss.
Okay.
At home.
Well, reminder: watch Southern Miss possibly make a run here. Their head coach is retiring at the end of the year. He's been in college baseball for over 25, 30 years. So, watch that to be one of the Cinderella stories making it to Omaha. So, all I got, guys.
Interesting.
They're a top 25 team, too.
Yep.
13 at
They're a good squad. Southern Miss usually has pretty good baseball teams each year. So,
yep. Well,
all right. Well, does
that's all I
anybody have
got.
anything else to add before we sign off for the eve? So next week we'll know Alabama's fate, whether we survived or whether we didn't. We'll know the 8 World Series teams, and the softball champion will be known by next week, and more than likely the Stanley Cup champion will probably be close to being known by next week. But stranger things have happened this postseason with that exact team. So that's why they play. So they'll lace them up and they'll play.
Florida, hockey capital of the world.
That's it. That's what it's become. Yeah, that's what it's become. Well, if nobody has anything, we will sign off here tonight. Roll Tide, gentlemen. We'll see you guys next week. And be well.
Roll Tide.